Table summarises the distances the employees of company A have to travel to work. Well, I can see we've got something for company B over here. Okay, table, 2 empty columns, I'm probably going to have to use them. Calculate an estimate of the mean distance. Well, to work out the mean, you add them all together and divide by how many there are. But I can't add all these all together because I don't know 8 were between 0 and 10. I don't know exactly where they are. So what I'm going to do is I can take the midpoint. Because then I could work out what it is. The midpoint of the first one is 5. And I know that these 8 5s on average, well, 8 of these lots, will probably be about 5. That would come to 40 if I added up all distances, probably. But that's why it's an estimate, because I've taken the midpoint. So midpoint of 10 and 20 is 15. 20 and 30 is 25. And 30 and 50, ooh, that's 40. So just be careful. Don't just follow the pattern every time. Work it out. And I need to, that's my frequency, and this is my midpoint, which is x. I need an fx column, which is my frequency times by the value. So 8 5s 40. And that basically means 8 in this group here, roughly 5 each. Their total number of miles would be 40. And I got to 14 times 15, which is 210. And 21 times 25, which is 525. 17 40s, 680. And I have to do a total. I always like putting a total thing in there. Total of how many there are. That would be 1455. And I divide it by however many that are altogether. And that's not 4, it's a total frequency, which is 60. And so the estimate of mean is 1455 over 60, which equals 24.25. And does that seem reasonable? Yeah, it does. That is in the range. And if I divide it by 4, I'd have got a crazy number which is not there. So just be careful and check it. An employee is selected at random. Write down. Write down means I haven't got any working out to do. The probability this employee travels less than 20 miles to work. So less than 20 miles to work. How many of them? Well, all of these here are less than 22, less than 20, and 14 and 8 adds up to 22. So it's 22 out of 60. I don't need to put that as a percentage or anything, a probability fraction. I could cancel it down, but I don't need to. The probability an employee is male is 0.62. Write down the probability female. Well, it'll be 1 minus 0.62, which is 0.38. And then I'm going to do this bit, company B, I'm going to do it in red. Histogram. As soon as I see the word histogram, I always think that the area equals the frequency. And to work out the area of a bar, you do the height times by the width. And that equals the frequency. They've drawn it for us there, but I'm going to do that before I even start thinking about the question, because that's going to help me not get panicky or anything else like that. I'm staying on top. I'm staying completely calm and in control of the question. How many employees travel less than 10 miles to work? Well, all these ones here. Well, I've just worked out how to work out the frequency. It's the height times the width. The height is 2.3. The width is 10, so that will be 23. That's okay. An employee is selected at random. What's the probability they travel less than 20 miles to work? Well, I need to find out this one here. So that's 1.6 times 10. That's 16. So how many of them travel less than things? 39 out of. I need to find out how many there are. So here I've got 0.2 times by 10. So that'll be 2. And here I've got 0.3 times, times by 20. Well, I could do 0.3 times by 10 to get 3 here, and another 3 here. That's 6. Well, I could just do 0.3 times by 20. And add those all up. I've got 39 here, plus 39, 40. That'll be 47. Don't need to work it out, because it's a probability. And that won't cancel down, because 47 is a prime number anyhow. And now I've got to make 2 different comments to compare the distances travelled. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, looking at these, there's a whole lot of them. 21, 17, there's 38 who are over 20. Hardly anyone over 20 here. So I'm going to say the average distance by firm A is greater than for firm B, and less than half of firm B travel more than 20. But more than half of firm A. A travel more than 20. A couple of things like that. A bit of a strange question at the end, but you get so many marks for all the rest of it. Just put something down and compare it. You don't always need to use numbers, and I haven't used numbers here. I would have done if I'd worked out that's the mean of the first one. I haven't worked out the mean of here. If I had have included it, I would have done. But that's 24.25 for firm A, and 24.25 will be here. And as you can see, loads more to the left of that than there are to the right of that. But we didn't work it out, the mean of this lot. But that's 12 done.